Varsity Media is the tri-state area's leader in sports media production. We specialize in live streaming.
Gargiulo over the middle. He's got a man. It's complete. And Ciolino. See you later. Touchdown, Massapequa.
Videography. And photography. Covering all sports at all levels. We feature aerial photography and videography, college recruiting videos, live streaming of games.
Top of the key, Smith. Why not? Wow. Bang! McKee, first down and more! Charlie McKee! Touchdown, Oceanside!
School events, graduations. Varsity Media is available to cover a game, a tournament, a season, or any special event.
Talk to us a little bit about what went through your mind, how you prepared for that to run such a fast speed.
Currently, spectators are limited at events. Let Varsity Media bring the event to your fans. Contact Varsity Media today for more information. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone 516-403-2050.
We welcome you to Cold Spring Harbor, where tonight the host Seahawks take on the Locust Valley Falcons in this Nassau Conference 3 C1 showdown. Good evening, everyone. Dylan Butler here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. We welcome you to this, I don't know, you want to call it a backyard brawl a little bit. It's certainly neighboring rivals here on the North Shore of Nassau County, and Cold Spring Harbor coming into this game with a 7-1 record. Only loss coming to nationally ranked Manhasset. Locust Valley 2-6 on the season. They just suffered a tight, tough 8-5 loss at Bethpage on Monday night. In that game, it was a 4-4 game going midway through the third quarter. A lot of penalties affecting Locust Valley, so that's one of their keys today is just playing smart, getting some possessions, and not being over-aggressive in this game, but also not maybe giving too much respect to Cold Spring Harbor. There's a shot from distance that sailed wide. That was Hunter Gagne. There's Luke Geraputo. Puts the ball back into play. First time these two teams are meeting since the 2019 Nassau Class or Conference C championship game. That was won, of course, by Cold Spring Harbor, their fifth consecutive Class C championship. Cold Spring Harbor would go on and go on and to the Long Island Championship. When we get a chance, we'll get to some starters during a stoppage of play and also let you know who our impact players are as well. Again, Cold Spring Harbor. Split dodge, nothing there, so Bruno pushes it back out. Gets the return pass from Jake Rogers. And there's Cam Otimo, number 3. You'll see a zone look primarily from this Locust Valley team, a squad that doesn't have a very deep bench. And with so many games in a week, I think both these teams are actually playing 3 in this week in like 5 days. So you need to conserve energy while you can. Bouncer goes wide of the far post. That attempt by Gagne. Senior, who's got 17 goals and 2 assists on the year. We're just underway here at Cold Spring Harbor. Dodge from up top. To his left, handoff, Bruno, and right in to the stick of David Hill. Excuse me, that was Tyler Shea, the junior, made the save, but Locust Valley turns it over, and Gagne gets the ball right back. So that's one of the things, certainly, that Jim Casper said was we've got to just play a smart brand of lacrosse, and part of that is getting clearances, and you do get the save by Shea, but unable to clear the ball, which gives Cold Spring Harbor another chance, and they cash in with that chance as well. Jaraputo at the crease, his 13th goal of the year. It gives Cold Spring Harbor the 1-0 lead. There you see Jaraputo at the crease. He was on varsity as a freshman. See, a big body attackman. Bond called him probably in the early season our most pleasant surprise. Face-off X should be an interesting one today. It's Ben Ferrara for Locust Valley. And he battles against Max Hawkinson, both future Division I players. Ferrara going to BU. He'll do that next year. And Hawkinson is a junior. We've got to push, give the face-off win to Ferrara. So they split the first two, and Ferrara not a Fogo, but in this situation he will come off. He's been banged up this year. He's one of so many players who play lacrosse for the smaller schools, was a football player and a 1,000-yard rusher as well during the football season, and of course this pandemic year being unique, they went back-to-back, the football and lacrosse season. So Ferrara is still kind of banged up from that season. So Locust Valley turns it over again, and Cold Spring Harbor will look to push. Good job by Jesse Phelan to absorb some pressure and get out of it. Ball goes back to Gagne up top. He hands off to Will Spear. Spear, another one of those who went right from the gridiron to the lacrosse fields. There's C.J. Riley, the good-looking sophomore, up top, 21. He's got it now. Looks to dodge from up top, draws the double, quickly kicks it to Spear. And he is, in fact, speared by Logan Leantonio. Cold Spring Harbor, though, maintains possession. Otimo into the teeth of the defense. Somehow it was kept alive by Gagne. Ball goes all the way out to midfield. It dies there, though, so it's easily picked up there by Riley. And the Seahawks have another go. They lead 1-0. Sidearm attempt by Gagne wide of the cage. Again, it was Jaraputo who gave Cold Spring Harbor that 1-0 lead. Otimo will leave it, and Jake Rogers will put the ball back into play. They go behind the cage. Now it's Jaraputo. up top. It's a man-up opportunity, and one that will go by the wayside here for Cold Spring Harbor once Locust Valley gets the clear. 7 seconds left on the penalty. Shea with the quick outlet, where he found Charlie Peixoto, and now Locust Valley will go on attack for the first time today. So Cold Spring Harbor 0-for-1 with the man up. That's Colton Andrea. 44 behind the cage. They kick it back up top. Michael Ganji, a hustling senior. You see a little more diminutive. You could also see Cold Spring Harbor looking to try, it appeared, for a second to seal off Luke Delachichi. He's got the ball now, and he backs up, looking to make a move from up top. Tries to get by Spear, cuts back, spins around from him, takes a shot, and it bounces just wide of the far post. Good attempt by the brown-bound Delachichi. Back to Ganji. He'll flip it to John Madsen. If you're a Locust Valley lacrosse fan, certainly you're well aware of the Madsen legacy. More on that in a minute, as we'll have our first flag on Cold Spring Harbor. And this will be a 30-second penalty. While we have an opportunity, let's show you the starters. First for Locust Valley, the Falcons. You can see up front, it's Delachichi, Madsen, and Andrea. First midfield line of Ganji, Ferrara, and Quinta. The close D of Charlie Peixoto, his older brother Matt Peixoto, David Hill, and the goalies Tyler Shea. We'll get you Cold Spring Harbor in a moment. So first man-up opportunity for Locust Valley. Much like, or exactly like Cold Spring Harbor's was, only a 30-second one. Andrea, good feed. Behind the back attempt by Madsen. He fell into the crease, so that should do it, as there's 5 seconds left on the man up. Here's another look at it. See, Madsen tried to go behind his back, falls in the crease, though. So that should kill, and it does kill now this man-up opportunity, as Bruno looks to push for Cold Spring Harbor. Quick pass to C.J. Riley, and they work it 2X for Otimo. Ball on the carpet, though, and Otimo and Hill battle for it. Goes out of bounds, so Locust Valley with the ball. Of course, it's never easy to clear against Cold Spring Harbor. One of the hardest riding teams out there, and that's what you're seeing here again. Ferrara under duress, loses it. Jake Rogers with the interception. And Cold Spring Harbor calls timeout. We'll give you some of those elements that we had for you in the pregame. First, let's take a look at the Cold Spring Harbor starting lineup. And you see it there. Really not much of a change from if you were on our game against Syosset, that overtime win at Syosset. Same starters, Jaraputo, Otimo, and Rogers. Your starting attack line, Spear, Gagne, and Bruno, your first midfield. Close D of Jesse Phelan, Patrick Pisano, and Cole Longo. In the cage is Spencer Will, the junior, and the faceoff man again is Max Hawkinson. Let's take a quick look at our impact players as well for this one. We mentioned Locust Valley. It's Luke Delachichi, a Brown commit. He's got 24 goals, 10 assists on the year. He will head to U.S. Lacrosse headquarters in August to compete in the NTDP National Combine. And for Cold Spring Harbor, their impact guy, look, if it's going to be Delachichi for Locust Valley, who's going to stop him? Well, that's going to be the job, one of the jobs of Patrick Pisano, the junior Dartmouth commit. He's got 2 goals and an assist on the year, which speaks to his athleticism, but he also has 23 ground balls, 10 takeaways. Pisano is the only returning starter from that 2019 squad that lost by a goal in the Long Island Championship. So a 2-year starter on close D for Pisano. Off the timeout, Cold Spring Harbor possesses. It's Gagne up top. Leantonio leaks out. Again, he'll be that pole at the top. Another good save by Shea. His second of this first quarter, and once again, flags fly. So Locust Valley will get another short man up opportunity. It'll be a 30-second for the push. Here it is again. You can see you try to work a guy out of bounds, but that's a little bit too much there by Gagne. So he's in for 30. It'll be the second man up opportunity for Locust Valley. Neither team able to cash in on either man up opportunity to this point. You got to figure they're a bigger deal to the visitors today than would be the hosts. Ferrara hands off to Ganji, and they look to move it around. Quinta back up top. Ganji goes to Ferrara. Again, you'd probably say in a perfect world, Ferrara is able to just face off and get off, and there's a shot. It looked like Spencer Will got a piece. No backup, so Cold Spring Harbor will be able to kill off the remaining 4 seconds of this man up. They work the ball up the far sideline here at Cold Spring Harbor, which maybe when we get a chance at some point we could still show you. There's just lacrosse being played on every blade of grass around this beautiful complex. It is the sport of choice out here, and whether it's girls or boys, it's just they're raised from a young age. And there's Jaraputo, the goal scorer. They push it up top again. Leantonio harassing Spear. They again work it to X. Riley hands off. They'll dodge from up top. The double comes. Leantonio, and he is called for the foul. So he did a good job just to force the ground ball. You see it here. It's that little extra by number 6, Leantonio, that results in the infraction, and that's one of the parts of.
He said 6, right? 6 is going to field.
I believe that was on Leantonio, but you see Ferrara is actually in. So regardless, it's going to be a 30-second penalty here. So another opportunity for Cold Spring Harbor, their second. And they look to move the ball a little bit quicker now. That goes off of Spear. He battles for the loose ball. GB picked up well by Leantonio. He flips backwards. Misconnection on it, though. And this could be a layup. A major collision. Flags flying everywhere. And the play stops. Let's see what we have here. Another look. You can see the backwards pass, and Shea was laid off his line. Look at that collision. So the infraction is against Locust Valley. It's against Ben Silver, number 12. So another man-up opportunity for Cold Spring Harbor. Their third. Let's see if they can cash in here. That shot off the near side netting by Rogers. Shea puts it back into play. Hands off. Peixoto, and again another interception. It's Riley who spins. There's 3 seconds left in the man up. So they'll be even now. So Cold Spring Harbor 0 for 3, Locust Valley 0 for 2. There's the cutter. The bouncer is wide of the mark. Riley did a good job to attack that space, but bounced it wide. Under 30 seconds left now in this first quarter, a low-scoring one. There's Riley, works it to X. Spear on Ferrara. Ferrara, the extra shove, and it's got to be passed out. 6 seconds left. Great job defensively by Ben Ferrara. Horn blows, and that's the end of the first quarter. Cold Spring Harbor scored early, and they had some opportunities with a man up. They couldn't cash in, and that's why they have a 1-0 lead at the end of one. You're watching this Nassau Conference C1 Showdown on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports. Are you settling for a boring live stream? Can't see the players' uniforms? No audio? Camera not following the action? Consider a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Our announcers help tell the story of your game.
McCarthy. He's got. Oh, he's in. Touchdown, Farmingdale.
We feature multiple camera angles, guaranteed to capture all the action.
Touchdown, Oceanside!
Plus added features like graphics, instant replay.
Yeah, the shooters are going to shoot here at Bethpage, and one of many threes on the day.
Interviews, and more. It's your time to shine. And with Varsity Media, now you can. Contact us today and book a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone 516-403-2050.
We welcome you back to Cold Spring Harbor. Seahawks with a 1-0 lead over Locust Valley. And let's take a quick look at our head coaches, two legendary coaches at the helm. First, for Locust Valley, he's only in his fourth year here, but Jim Casper is as decorated a head coach on Long Island as there is. Was a Nassau Community College assistant, 67 to 84, 84 to 89, the MacArthur head coach, 90 to 01, the Baldwin head coach. An assistant at Ward Melville for a year, a couple more assistantships at Northport. Spent 2006 to 17 as a Long Beach coach, and he's been here for 4 years. The head coach, we also have to tell you, for Cold Spring Harbor is Dennis Bond. In his 22nd season, a Sewanaka 84 grad, and he still slings it like he's at Sewanaka. You see him there in the pregame. Both coaches in that prestigious 300-win club. Bond got there this year with that dramatic overtime win at Syosset. So off that face-off win by Ferrara, they go to the cage quickly, and Spencer Will with another save. It'll be not as troublesome for Cold Spring Harbor. You don't expect Locust Valley to do too much in the ride game, just because, again, the lack of numbers, playing so many games in a week. It's cooler tonight, certainly, and of course playing at night helps, but it's starting to get warm as well, which also has affected a lot of these teams out here as well. And Locust Valley fortunate where they have actually gone back-to-back with night games. So quick ball movement for Cold Spring Harbor. There's the pass to the cutting Spear. That shot wide of the mark. Spear, 30 shots on the year. Good opportunity there, just not on target. While we have a chance, too, wanted to send a shout-out and our best wishes to Locust Valley assistant coach Bob Hartraft, dealing with some medical issues that don't allow him to be here on the sideline in person, but we are assured that he's watching the stream, and certainly as that shot also bounces wide, we expect for Jim Casper's phone to be buzzing probably at some point during the game. Hartraff did that in an earlier game, and another penalty is called. It'll be a cross-check, a 1-minute penalty. So another man-up opportunity here for Locust Valley, but Casper had a funny story. He said he had his jacket at the scorer's table in a game against Wantagh this year, and he has a Bluetooth set up to his hearing aid and kept hearing his phone ring in his ear, and it was at the scorer's table, and finally checked his phone, and there was like 8 missed calls from Hartraff. He finally gets him at halftime. Why are you bugging me? We're during the game. He's like, yeah, well, I'm watching it live. I got to give you some feedback, as any good assistant coach would. And it's pretty remarkable, too, when you think about it. Between the two of them, they've got over 600 career wins. Hartraff, of course, the legendary Farmingdale head coach. Good look inside, and there's the finish. So the man-up goal by Madsen, and he has leveled it for Locust Valley. Here's another look. You see the feed coming from X. Good looking pass by Andrea. So it's 11 from 44. It's a man-up opportunity goal, and we are level at 1.
I got it.
So Locust Valley now 1 of 3 with the man up off the face-off. We expect it to be a really great battle at the face-off, X. There's a win for Hawkinson. Unofficially, we've got them both with a pair of wins. There's Gagne. Hands off. Great job defensively. Hawkinson tried to take the shot, just a swarm of Falcons got in his way, and he'll come off now for Benny Bruno. #29 is Hayden Calabretta, the sophomore. Good-looking sophomore. Scored 5 goals on the year on 10 shots. That's a pretty good percentage. Bruno slings it. They work it now to X, and that's Jaraputo's domain. Back to Bruno. And it's Jaraputo. He spins. It's 2-on-2 as David Hill, a returning starter at close defense for Locust Valley, forced back out top. Ground ball. There's a push, and it's scooped up. And let's see if Locust Valley is able now to clear. It was Christian Garcia who had the ground ball, and that forced pass by Ganji, and a tough one as well to try to field. You see it again. Ganji tried to hit that back post. The ball, though, stays with the Falcons. 1-1 the score here. 7.5 minutes left in this first half. There's John Madsen going to Hofstra next year. His older brothers, the twins, back in that county championship year, huge part of that, and we'll talk about that more as we go along. Matt and Joe both played at St. John's University, so it'll be 3 of the Matson boys going on to play Division I lacrosse. Madsen has been cleared as an attackman, but on the next level for Tierney next year, he will be a midfielder. There he is. Splits defenders, falls down in the crease. Flag is thrown. We'll have a push in the back, another 30-second man-up opportunity for Locust Valley. They were able to cash in on their last. Here's another look at the infraction. Madsen, you see, just looks to split defenders, and you can see the push there from behind. Thought it was Phelan, but they instead gave the penalty to Gagne. Again, cutting to the crease was Madsen. Ground ball. It's loose in front. Will out of his cage. A push will stay here with Locust Valley. And the Falcons will call a timeout and will take it with them as well. 6:27 left in this first half. Cold Spring Harbor and Locust Valley are tied at 1. You're watching this Nassau Conference C1 showdown on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports. Are you settling for a boring live stream? Can't see the players' uniforms? No audio? Camera not following the action? Consider a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Our announcers help tell the story of your game.
Goes McCarthy. He's got. He's in. Touchdown, Farmingdale.
We feature multiple camera angles, guaranteed to capture all the action.
Touchdown, Oceanside.
Plus added features like graphics, instant replay.
Yeah, the shooters are going to shoot here at Bethpage, and one of many threes on the day.
Interviews, and more. It's your time to shine. And with Varsity Media, now you can. Contact us today and book a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone 516-403-2050.
We welcome you back to Cold Spring Harbor. Dylan Butler here. It's this Nassau Conference C1 showdown between Locust Valley, Cold Spring Harbor, tied at 1 with 12 seconds left in a man-up opportunity for Locust Valley. It's Madsen looking for the ball at the top. They swing at the other side. Madsen cuts through, ducking under the attempted check, and losing it for a moment was Andrea. He's doubled. Ground ball picked up by Pisano. Pisano came into the game with 23 of those. What a pass to the crease. And Jaraputo, the finish. His second of the game gives Cold Spring Harbor the 2-1 lead. Look at the athleticism there of Phelan. And a great look as well for Phelan, his first assist of the year. Second goal of the game for Jaraputo. He's up to 14 on the season. And with 5:55 left, we go back to the face-off X. Loose ball. Looks like we'll do it over again. So kind of a stalemate there as the ball went out. So Ferrara and Hawkinson back at it. Ferrara will be a BU next year. Hawkinson, a Rutgers commit, junior, voted one of the captains. Hawkinson with the clean win. Continues. Hawkinson to the cage. The bouncer is wide. It's been a pretty even battle at the face-off X to this point. Bruno, hands off. There's a step down lefty attempt. That also bounces wide. Not a lot of shots on frame. Shea has made 2 saves to this point, so certainly if you're Dennis Bond, you'd like to get a lot more looks on cage. They're getting the shots, they're just not putting them on target. Again, here's that super aggressive ride. Locust Valley will try to go the other way. And that's a prereq if you are on the attack or that first midfield or any midfield line, really. You've got to ride to be on the field. It's the case with Will Spear or Hunter Gagne. It was the case with Ian Laviano, of course, years ago. And look at Laviano now doing the same thing for the University of Virginia, which is part of a almost full ACC Final Four. Maryland, the only difference, of course, a former ACC team. Final Four this weekend up in East Hartford. There'll be a lot, as always, a lot of local interest in those games. We approach 4 minutes left in this first half. A close one, Cold Spring Harbor with a 2-1 lead. Delachichi gets doubled, loses it, and Delachichi will get called for the push. Good job combined defensively by Patrick Pisano and Jesse Phelan. And somehow keeping it in with Spear. But some sloppy play from Cold Spring Harbor. Can Locust Valley capitalize? There's a shot by Andrea. Good looking save. For Will, it was his third. Here come the Seahawks. Spear to Bruno. He will work it from up top. Spear will come off, and Riley will check on. There's Jaraputo. Quick handoff to Otimo. Back up to Riley. Backs up a few steps. For now, at least, he has the shorty matchup. We'll see if that changes. There's Silver on him. Leantonio leaks out. There's the pass once the triple comes. Low shot. They get blocked in front. Some stick swinging going on, and there's a hold called against Locust Valley, so it stays with Cold Spring Harbor. Riley works at the X. Spinning from there was Jaraputo looking for his third of the game. Wasn't there. Loose ball. Another flag is thrown. And let's see this call. It'll be a cross check. Here you see it again. Watch 16 come in. And there is the foul. So a cross check against Gagne. It'll be a 1 minute penalty. Another man up opportunity. The fifth or sixth, I believe, of this first half for Locust Valley. They do have one man up goal. They're looking for more. If they get it here in the later stages of this first half, they'll tie it up. It's Ganji. As the skies get darker here, we were told there's the potential for some serious storms. Certainly the professional teams who play outdoors, Mets, Yankees, both cancel their games. Here's Ferrara up top. 30 seconds left on the man up. Tough pass right into the heart of the defense. Ferrara slings it. That shot was saved. Madsen had the attempt, another save, and another look at that save here. Fourth by Will, sees it over. Andrea puts it back into play. 15 on the man-up opportunity. Up top, Ferrara! Ben Ferrara has tied this game at 2, another extra man opportunity goal for the Falcons. Here you see it, Ferrara just steps in the space and just rifles it from distance. For Ferrara, his 10th goal of the year. And we are tied at 2, another man-up opportunity goal for Locust Valley. You got to figure that's something that will certainly be addressed by Dennis Bond and his coaching staff at halftime, which we are quickly approaching. Timeout by Cold Spring Harbor, and we'll take it with them as well. 1:12 left in the first half. Locust Valley and Cold Spring Harbor tied at 2. You're watching this Nassau Conference C1 Showdown on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports. Now is the time to promote your business on our broadcasts.
Now Farmingdale will fire and find the back of the net.
Top of the key, 4-3, good.
With viewership in the thousands, your company will get the local attention it needs. Best of all, we offer affordable rates. High school sports online audiences are growing. Take advantage by advertising with Varsity Media.
Hands off, three-point shot is up and in. You back him back 3 yards, it doesn't matter. Touchdown, Freeport.
Contact us today, 516-403-2050, varsitymedia.net.
We welcome you back to Cold Spring Harbor. We're noticing here the officials are asking the teams to go inside and asking the fans here, it looks like as well, to seek shelter. We mentioned the storm here that was coming. So we'll have both teams, it looks like, break early. You can see there's 1:12 left before the end of halftime, but we'll have both teams leave as we hope it's a quick-moving storm. So we'll take a break as well, and we'll return it for you when we resume action. 2-2 the score in this Conference C1 Showdown on the Varsity Media Sports Network.